See if this mic's on. How's that? Okay, good. All right, welcome everybody to the 2024 banquet, which we're having in 2025, which is a good thing. That meant we went so far in 24 that we couldn't quite squeeze it in before Christmas. So thank everyone for being here here in January after the holidays and getting back into school mode. Kind of be a similar format as we've done. I'll try to be a little briefer now that we all know each other quite well. At least a lot of us do. I'm going to go through a bunch of thank yous that we have as coaches and our team, and then we'll eat, and then we'll kind of get into kind of the meat of kind of recapping the awesome season that we had. First, I want to thank you parents, all of you, all year, for all the things you do behind the scenes, from getting them to practice and picking them up and all the back and forth that we know you do from to and from St. Michael. The Wednesday nights, all of you that chip in to make those a fun family event. The pregame meals that we have that are awesome. The postgame on the road when we're far away and we have something getting on the bus. I can go on and on. Having all you guys, a lot of you there when we're getting on the bus to go on those road games. I know these guys appreciated that. I know we did. It felt big time. And so there's just so many things. I could go on and on. So thank you to all the parents, guys. Let's give them a big round of applause. I know I couldn't name many, but I am going to single out one, and it just comes with the territory. You know, the quarterback gets a lot of credit, the head coach gets a lot of credit, but I would be remiss if I didn't single out one parent that I confirmed that's had a son on this team ever since this school opened in 2016, and it's awesome all that she does to contribute. I know that kind of lead up that group of many of you that do so much. So Allison Edmondson, thank you very much. Next, I want to thank the Wild Card Network. Jerry, Tony, you guys, what you guys do has been awesome. And I know it's continuing to grow, and you are tweaking and trying to find ways to keep improving it. But from the broadcast, BD, and you guys, Finn and Frankie and all you guys, it was awesome. I know it was fun for the guys to go back and watch. I know, my folks, when they couldn't come down, being able to see it on TV live is awesome. And I've had many people from former NFL coaches that I played for say, man, I'm watching the game, it's awesome, so it's going far and wide. And so we certainly appreciate you guys. I know the players enjoy the Player of the Week, Tony, and I certainly enjoyed sitting down with you and Mitchell every week doing the coaches interviews. So y'all are doing a heck of a job. We appreciate that. And with that, Jerry and Joe Boss, the awesome job they do with the film. And it's quite a headache to go to all these places and get drones flying and all these camera angles. And then we're not easy to deal with because we want the tape the night of the game because we can't go to sleep without watching it. So Wild Card Network, and then Jerry and Joe and all those guys with the video, thank y'all very much. All the game day ops, all the game day operations, a lot goes into making a football game go, and we've always done it at Fairhope for many years, and didn't have a place to call our own, so I know that was special. But then it also raised it caused for a lot more people to chip in and help out to make it work on a Friday, from Jill Rowe and Coach O and all those guys do, and with the concessions and get things going. That cart, the Ranger is running all over campus all day long on a game day. The Corey Helper doing the PA, all you guys that were part of the chain gang, I know there's a handful of you that kind of rotated it out. All those things don't go unappreciated because those things have to go for the game. When we're out there, we just take for granted that they're going to happen. So we appreciate all you guys on the game day ops. Can y'all hear me fine without that mic? They're good, so we're good. Hey, I want to thank Father Steve and Father Connor. We had Father Connor join us for the kind of retreat that I know these guys, I don't put y'all to the test, but I bet if I asked what were those two things, y'all can tell us right now. I know I still can. So it's been great having Father Connor down here in addition to Father Steve, and it's always special to have have those guys on the road with us, certainly at home, but on the road, having either of them with us is awesome. So we thank those two guys and them leading us from the faith standpoint. I want to thank band and cheer. You know, they added to the environment, having home games, and then when you go 4 hours on the road and you pull into these places, and you again having that band and cheerleaders with you, we appreciate it. So let's give them a little something, guys. The medical training staff, Dr. Slava and his team, Dr. Edmondson, all the times you stepped up big for us, being there when we needed you as well. And then the addition of Molly. I know we got her mid-year and y'all were patient with us. We were trying like crazy. But Molly could too, coming from a football background, and I know the guys can attest to this. It was big because she'd been around college football and guys, and she knew the deal, and it didn't take long. You know, I was nervous. Molly, we didn't have but 4 or 5 weeks left, and I was like, how's this going to work? And sure enough, she was on it from the start. So feel great about the improvements we made there in that area with our medical and training staff. So appreciate them. Then lastly, our coaching staff. It's a heck of I get emotional every time. It's a heck of a group. We've added some pieces to it, but it's rare, and it's really rare in the big time levels, but it's rare in high school levels to keep the same guys. It's just hard. It's just hard to do, and we probably won't do it forever. I hope we have you guys forever, but it's probably impossible. But it's been awesome having these guys. I know you know them all, but Coach Quarterpassy, Walt Dupre, Kyle Lopez, Stephen Rivers, Justin Murray, David Hendrick, Elder Coach Lopez joined us this year as well, which was awesome. And then I'll throw in those guys that obviously do a heck of a job in the middle school, but they help us big time on Friday nights. From Coach Nolan, Hayden, and Josh Murphy were big time this year with all the stuff we had going like crazy. And then Coach Jeremy Murray, those guys. But those 10, 11, 12 guys we have that all make it work on a Friday night, it's a heck of a team. And I've had different parents tell me, hey, either y'all fake it real well or you guys get along pretty dang good. You know, and I think it's the latter. We get along pretty dang good. Now, we argue like crazy, but that's what brothers do. They argue, but they get along great. They love each other. But I think these guys feel that too. I think the guys would attest to the tightness of the staff does have an impact. You can't measure it. You can't measure it in wins and losses, but it has an impact on a positive impact on the whole environment. And so these guys, and I'm not wanting to pat on the back, but a lot of things go on that people had no idea just how much these guys do. You know how much these guys do, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. It makes it that much more special. You know, it's not always about the score, but when you win a game on the road 4 hours away, and you know what's gone into it, and the guys that have done it, and what they've sacrificed, it makes it that much more special. So appreciate you guys. I didn't make it very long, dadgummit. Let's see, I also want to thank our wives. Our wives, they sacrifice a lot too because they're either keeping babies or listening to us talk about football for 6 months. and we're gone a lot and late nights and, you know, phone calls about what blitz we want to put in and somebody's needing to be tucked in, you know. So we appreciate y'all's sacrifice as well and y'all's support and pulling for you guys as much as anybody. I know there's probably no way I didn't leave someone out, but just know how appreciative we are, our team is, your boys are, and our coaches are of all the support that we have that make it go. I'm sparing you guys the pack your parachute story this year. Y'all have heard it almost every year. Y'all can thank my wife for that. She's like, you don't have to do it again this year. But there's so many parachutes that are being packed daily. You guys pack them for each other. You probably pack parachutes for your parents, and they're doing it for you, and it's just so much that you don't know, but that allow you to go do what we do every day. So to all those that I accidentally may have left out, just know you're not gone unnoticed, and we appreciate all of it, and we know how much it takes to operate the way we do. So because all you guys, not just the guys on the field on a Friday, so many had a hand in the year we had. So many. It takes all those I mentioned, plus a lot of work and practice by these guys to go win 12 football games. It doesn't you don't just show up and happen. So special year. Thanks to all of you. And one last round of applause for everybody. Appreciate it. All right, we're gonna say the blessing now. We'll let the guys go first, okay, and then we'll kind of split up sides. There's two lines, one from each side here. Drinks are there in the back. These guys from Ben's Barbecue are great. It'll be good. Y'all enjoy it, and then we'll reconvene here shortly. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, bless us, O Lord, in these thy gifts, which we're about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. All right, guys, go for it. All right, we'll try the line until it runs out. I hope everybody got enough. Seems to be a little bit more over there. Everybody wants any more. I'll be as brief as I can be. Some of these guys probably are like, yeah, right. We've heard that before. Give me 2 minutes, guys. Just give me 2 minutes. And they all can look around like, yeah, we know what that means. Take a knee. Might as well take a knee, right? Ollie? Hey, well, let's just kind of go through. I just want to go through. For us, we were talking today as coaches. We've talked about the season at length in games and quarters and plays and this and that since November 28th or whatever, over and over and over. And we were talking today, and it's like, well, let's all together. Not everybody's talked about it and kind of recapped it as much as we have, but I won't go through every single quarter or play, obviously. But this season started, in March, last March, like it always does. And it's just we talk about being a practice sport. You only get 10. This year we got 14. Throwing the jamboree, we got 15. But you usually only get 10 games, and you practice so much. I mean, you just practice and practice and practice and play so little. And these guys put in an unbelievable amount of effort and time going back to last March. And as we have for 4 years now, talked about the process and getting better every day and all those things. And they really did that, and it showed as the season went. First, it was real special to be able to play at home. I think we all appreciated that. I know I asked these seniors many times, do you ever think you were really going to walk out there and play right behind this field house? And so it was really awesome to see that come true. And the traditions and all those things will only grow from here. It was kind of a first go at it. And really had probably the smallest number of home games that we'll ever have there, with it being 4, with having to go to Pensacola. And so hopefully we have more than 6, 7, 8 games you start averaging a year out there, and it's awesome being able to play at home. This season started off at Bayside, and we all know how awesome it was to win that one. We hadn't been able to get that done. Should have gotten it done in previous years, but hadn't. So that was big to get a win against Bayside. And then we host, 5A John Carroll, who a little bit down this year, but it's still 5A John Carroll. They've been playing football and having that school there for a long time. And they came down to our place. We actually had a meal here together with them and had a joint mass. It was kind of it was a special deal. I think the guys appreciated it, and it was a heck of a game. The D ends up with a big stop in that game late to win it. Then we go to W.S. Neal, and it was, you go from Bayside and John Carroll and you go up to W.S. Neal, and we're warming up, and we could hear ourselves talking out there, bouncing off the concrete walls. And so we had to kind of create our own energy up there at Neal, and we did, and won that one. And then we go to Satsuma and wear them out, and then host Escambia and get after them pretty good too. So we got off to a great start, obviously winning the first 5. And then we get to take a deep breath with a bye week falling right there in the middle of the year as we got ready for Jackson. And that's a game I think you always remember, right? You never can completely forget that game. But that was a game I think that was a real turning point in the year, I believe. Because in life, all of us have had moments where we doubted, could we do it? Could we do it? And I think these guys, if we owned it to a man, doubted, Could we do it? Can we hang with them? And I don't know that we believed we could. And it showed in that game. It showed in that game. And they are really good. And I remember in the locker room after that game, I told these guys, I think that's out again, told these guys, I said, you'll never play another team in high school as good as them unless we play them again. And we ended up playing them again. But so that was a turning point I felt for us. I just felt it was a turning point for us because I think to a man, we owned it. We owned that we didn't play very good and we got worn out and a little bit embarrassed just about the way we played as a whole. You know, we had to walk off the field and listen to that guy with that duck call and say, y'all hear that duck? And he was quacking that duck, and it was just, we just had to eat it and take it. And but I felt that game was a turning point for us. And then we go to Mobile Christian, who had not beaten, and we go over there and get after them pretty good at their place. And the previous year they were 15-0 and won the 3A state championship. And you go to their place and win. And it was big. And the D came up with a big stop there late. Then we go to Pensacola High School, and I don't know that we knew what we signed up for going to that game. Just to be completely honest with you, we love a tough schedule. When Simon and Walt and all of us sit down, we love a tough schedule because it's more fun. It's more fun to play tough opponents. Well, you start going down through Bayside, John Carroll, Jackson, Mobile Christian, Orange Beach, UMS, and you go, all right, we could use a breather. We could use a little breather. Well, we called far and wide to play teams. And Terry Curtis at UMS told me there's going to come a time when nobody's going to play you anymore. It's going to be hard to get a game, a non-conference game, and it's already starting. You know, Alberta wouldn't play. I mean, none of the teams. We couldn't find a game, and it's like, man, how far are we going to go? And so we found 0-10 Pensacola. The previous year, they had scored 14 points the whole season the year before. And I said, this is a perfect breather after Jackson, Mobile Christian, and before UMS. And dadgum, after we got them scheduled, we saw Pensacola Catholic at a 7-on-7, and the head coach said to me, I saw you scheduled Pensacola High. And I said, yeah, we couldn't find a game, but it's only an hour away, and we go into their place. I mean, it'll be fine, you know. I said, they didn't score much last year. They didn't win a game. And he said, yeah, they got the best athlete in Pensacola is eligible this year. He said he was ineligible last year. And I said, who is it? And he tells me, we look him up, and I mean, he was dang good. And you guys think he got his butt on the ground enough times for us to hang on and find a way to win. But that was a game we didn't expect to be like that, but another one that helped us down the stretch. And the D, huge stop to win that game there as they were driving late. And then we were able to beat Orange Beach at home. And it felt a little better knowing we knocked them out of the playoffs by beating them, and knowing that Neil had upset Mobile Christian. We sent them to hoop season a little early, which was fun. And then we go to UMS, and which was a big deal. It's a big deal. I think it was a big deal for me, just because I grew up. I was Terry Curtis's ball boy in the All-Star game when I was 8, 9 years old. And, you know, Dad was coaching with him, and I mean, I was like, man, that's a big deal. We're playing UMS. This guy's won, I don't know how many, 350 whatever ball games, and these guys respect that team and program. We all do. The tradition they've built, and so to go over there and beat UMS was big time. Was big time, and again, the defense stepping up big and finishing that one at the end. So that was a heck of a run right there to finish the season 9-1. Big time year, fun regular season. I think back, Walt reminded me of this. We were about, I don't know, 5, 6. We were getting ready for Pensacola, I think, and the season was getting a little bit long, especially for some of these young guys. You know, we shoot, and I said, hey, we may only be halfway through this thing. We may only be halfway through the season. And Walt said, and some of you may remember the faces you made. Walt said, you should have seen some of the guys' faces like, only halfway through. How long is this thing going to be for some of the young guys? And we ended up, it really was halfway through. I'm going to pause right there because the JV group, we didn't have our best record, which that's not why we play. They keep the score in the JV. We were 3-3, but we had maybe one of our best, our best years. We had one of our best improvements from the first game of JV to the 6th game of JV. Seeing how the guys progressed was awesome. And we won 3 and lost 3, but we had a ton of improvement in those JV football games. And And those are valuable and big for us, and those are going to help y'all as you continue to grow and progress. I say that to say this: we played 4 games after the regular season was over, so we had another month of football. And we all talked about how much we saw a lot of improvement from the whole football team. You talk about young freshman linemen, young freshman back, young freshman receivers, and guys that were able to practice for a whole nother month and get a lot better and have a lot of growth. And they also knew the value of it was they were showing us Hanley's look and Pleasant Grove's look and Fairfield's look, and they knew it was important. Like, it's a big deal, guys. So what we do out here on the practice field, yeah, we're trying to get better, but we're also trying to help our team win. And so you guys did a heck of a job, you JV guys, and not just JV guys. You're not just JV guys, but I just meant you guys that played in those JV games and then had a lot to do with the look squad stuff, getting prepared during the week. Then we owed Hanley one, and we gave that back to them. That was a long, miserable trip last year, and we owed them, and we gave them everything they wanted back. And then going to Pleasant Grove was big time. That team had been in the state championship 3 times in the last 6 years, I think, or something like that, in 5A. And we went to their place, and I could just tell pregame they didn't think we had a chance. They thought we had absolute no chance. And then they found out real quick that we were going to be there for all 4 quarters. And that was as big time a win as, it was big time on the road, big time. And then go right back to Fairfield because of 6 inches with W.S. Neal, cost us another home playoff game, and had to go right back to Birmingham and find a way to win that one. And that one was awesome. I'll go back and say the support from you guys, parents, and I know many others that went up there was awesome. It was appreciated. It was like, dang, man, we brought a lot of people. I mean, it felt good. It felt, if there's, you love playing at home, but it feels good when you go on the road and you got a lot of support and you guys are excited about it. And I think the guys felt it. I know I felt it. Pleasant Grove and Fairfield both feeling the excitement about what was going on. And then obviously go to Jackson. And the reason I referenced the Jackson game like I did earlier is because we went to Jackson the second time, or playing on the second time, and we didn't doubt it. We didn't doubt it. You guys believed we were going to win the game, and we were just going to find a way. And we didn't. We didn't. But there is something to be said for that. Because we didn't, you did doubt it, week 5, week 6, but we didn't doubt it in that semifinal game. And the way you guys fought and played was unbelievable, unbelievable. I've had people that I've known since I was little that watched that game. I have people that don't know you and don't have nothing to do with St. Michael and said, man, how hard your guys played that night. And y'all did all year long. How hard y'all played in that game was. It came off the Wild Carter Network. I mean, these were the people watching that weren't there. And they felt it from how hard you guys played. And we know that counts for a lot, right? That's one of our 3 things. Right? Alignment, assignment, fundamentals, technique, and effort. And effort. It jumped off the TV to a lot of these guys, and it's a lot of the reasons why we won 12 football games. Because we got talent, and y'all do line up most of the time, right, and know what to do. Yeah, and the fundamentals and technique is okay sometimes, and it ain't great others, but you play really dang hard. And when you do that, you got a chance. You got a chance in every game. Every game. 2 things we talked about this summer, real quick, just about this season that I think signifies what we did over the course of the year was we talked about competing, right? And it's the Latin word competere, right? We talked about that, meaning to strive with. To strive with. Everyone thinks compete is go play an opponent. But compete is to strive with. Right? And if it's a practice sport, then who the heck are we competing against? Us, each other. We're striving together. We're striving together, and we really embrace that all spring, all summer, and really all through the fall. And it showed up. It showed up in those close games when the D got a big stop, or when we had to have a drive to go win it and seal it at the end and finish it on the ground at Pleasant Grove. It showed up. That showed up. That willing to compete. And then the other thing we talked about was getting tougher this year, mentally and physically tougher. And I think we did that. And I think we were put in circumstances to allow us to, we either had to do that or not. You can trot through a season and go, we were never really challenged, and I don't know that you get tougher. But you either had, there was no tapping out of this season, not those games and teams we played. And I think we got mentally and physically tougher. And I do think, and I think you parents agree with me, I do think we're getting a little bit soft in general, outside these doors, all around. We're getting a little bit soft. And so we want these young men to be tougher, right? Mentally and physically tougher to go out and do all that they're going to do. Way past football. And those things happen on a third down out there, and 3rd and 8, when we're excited because Simon's excited because we got them off the field. You know, we got them to punt. But those moments, those snapshots are parts of you becoming tougher mentally and physically that will help you in anything you do. And I thought we did those two things. We competed well, and we got mentally and physically tougher. And we played stinking hard. I have my notes there. We stinking played hard. You did. You played hard. We had some unbelievable individual efforts. We recognize the captains, and we have a Nuke Cheppy Award. We don't do any of the other awards, but I do want to recognize some of the individual efforts and some of the recognition they got around the state, because there was some big time seasons had. We all know it's a team game, and it takes every one of us to win 12, but there were some remarkable efforts. When I call your name, you can just stand up. We'll give you a round of applause. This guy had 253 carries for 1,800 yards and 32 touchdowns. He also had 44 catches for 529 yards and 3 more touchdowns. So that's 2,300 yards and 35 touchdowns. He had 2 sacks, a fumble caused, a fumble recovery. He was a second-team All-State. He was first-team All-Coastal as the newcomer of the year, Noah Moss. 66 receptions for 1,285 and 17 touchdowns. 19.5 a catch, which at one point was leading this whole state of Alabama in any classification. He was second-team All-State. He was first-team All-Coastal. Tucker Tomlinson. (103 receptions, which was the most catches in the state, all classifications. 1,589 yards with 15 touchdowns, was 15.4 a catch. First team All-State, first team All-Coastal, Brody Jones. He was 267 for 411. 411 attempts was the most attempts in the state. 3,972 yards, 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. First team All-State and first team All-Coastal, Gunner Rivers. I'm going to pause right there just to say this stat that I couldn't believe. Us coaches still can't really wrap our mind around it, and we don't have a way to see how many plays other teams ran in proportion. But we threw it 411 times. I think actually Helper had 6 or 7 attempts. 417 times, 417 pass attempts. We had 382 rush attempts. So that equals out to 52% pass and 48% run, which is the closest we've ever been to 50-50. You talk about trying to have balance, and not just being a 70% pass and 30% run. That's the closest we've ever been. But the attempts was also the most attempts in the whole state in any classification. So it means we ran a lot of plays, offense, and finished a lot of drives. But that was pretty remarkable. The other thing I want to say is shout out to this offensive line is 400. We lead the state in attempts. You figure we probably get sacked dang a lot. We only got sacked 12 times. 12 times and 411 attempts, which is awesome. We played in 14 games and had 12 sacks with 400-something attempts. Just to put it in perspective, Caleb Williams played 17 games, I think, for the Bears and got sacked 67 times. 6 times is more than we did in ours. And I know there's a lot more that goes into that. That is pretty crazy. This guy couldn't be here tonight. He's out of town, but I think it's worth us all hearing. He had 16 touchbacks. He was 6 for 9 on field goals with a long of 46 at Satsuma. He's 68 of 68 PATs. He's now hit 85 in a row. He's now hit 85 in a row. He's first team All-State selection, Patricio Garcia. Defensively, our leading tackler with 55. Now, I know y'all see stuff all over Max Preps and all over stuff, and you'll see teams that say tackles 133 tackles. Bull. They didn't have 133 tackles. They might have been this close, and they said, he got him. He got him. So Walt is our stat man, and Walt doesn't mess around. You either tackled him or you didn't tackle him. And so that's why sometimes our numbers aren't as high as some of these that inflate them a little bit. But our leading tackler with 55, he was followed closely at 52 by Cam Kerbel and Nick Russo at 47. Leading tackle with 55 was Ollie Dees. And then our leading interception man over there that really had to step in due to unfortunate situation, and he did. And he battled and battled and battled and ended up having a heck of a year and some huge, huge turnovers, not just these, but huge turnovers that led the team 4 picks, Braden Smith. All right. It was a heck of a year. It was a heck of a year, and everybody contributed, and that's what makes this game so awesome to me. Again, we had some unbelievable individual efforts, but so many people contributed in so many different ways on the practice field and in the ways you didn't see under the lights on Friday night to make us have the success we had. All right, I'm gonna go through my class now, get every guy a certificate. I'll rattle through the freshman class, and then we can give them a round of applause at the end and so forth. There we go. Hux, Moralia. Caleb Shaker. Patrick Robeson. Cole Robinson, I don't think he's here. Cole's not here. Where's P. Robe? Not here either. No P. Robe. Marshall Petrie. There's Marshall. Quinn Murphy. Nigel Mitchell. Jack Kerr. George Herndon. Loftus Garner. Abraham Paiupu. Alex Cox. Charlie Callahan. Landon Bodine. Blanco. Lee Travis. Braden Walton. Gavin Yarborough. We're missing a couple that had other commitments, but I think it's 18 of them in that freshman class. It was a good freshman class that got better as the year went. And you see we got some size, big old ninth graders. And they got better as the year went. And it's probably challenging early on because you're practicing with the varsity and you're a ninth grader. And I've said this many times, when I was a ninth grader, if it wasn't for my dad being the coach, I would not have known where the varsity locker room was. And so these guys are on the field with us every day, practicing and giving us a look. And the future's bright with this class. I think it's 18 of them, and y'all are sophomores now. All right, here we go. Let me sit down. Good job. 10th grade class, ain't real big. Cole Singley. Abram Rogers. Gunnar Rivers. Cam Kerbel.
They're all this way.
George Ganera. Andy Cisneros. Ambrose Barwick. Just 7 of them. Just 7 of them in that 10th grade class. One shot from you guys. One shot from you guys. Some of these guys contributed as 9th graders, and then this group all contributed and kept getting better. Kept getting better. It's a small group, but a solid group. And now you guys are juniors. It's going fast. Going fast. Good job, man. Dang, this class. Here we go. Tucker Tomlinson. Colin Thompson.
Coming to you.
Gotcha. Mitchell Swanson.
Back to me.
Braden Smith. Grady Skipper. Colvin Sears. Jimmy Rhodes. Peter Riley.
Slide that way.
Manny Petrie. Noah Moss. Keller McKinney. Nick Russo. Bryce Marston.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Lamar J. Lavoie. Brody Jones. Cooper Halpern. Patricio. Chase DeRoy. 12 D, Roy. Sam Crosby. Maddox Caldwell. Aiden Bodine. Thompson D.
Cooper, your girlfriend's there.
22 of them.
There's not enough room for all of us.
22 of them.
Jesus Christ, our local thing is massive.
I mean, that's by far as big as we've ever had here, right? Class-wise. 22 seniors. We need all of you back. And then if we gain 1 or 2, that'll be fine too. But that's a heck of a group right there. You go from, think about even last year and 2 years ago, you go from, there's a big difference in a 15-year-old and 18-year-old, even 15 to 17. And I think we felt that a little bit against Hammond 2 years ago. And this year, it was like, it just didn't feel quite as like they could grab us how they wanted to. Right, Bodine?
Yep.
It's a heck of a group. We're going to need y'all to stick and lead us. Lead us. Be awesome to have 22 seniors. Good job. I should be good now. I got seniors right here. As long as I have them all. And then I'm going to do the captains. Holy smokes. We're okay.
On 20 already.
Yeah, that's okay. This won't take long.
Okay, you're good with just singers.
All right, let's go through these seniors. Let's see who we got first. Sadly, this season ended before it got going. I know it was hard on him and hard on all of us. But I'll tell you what's been cool to me through it, Brady, is how good a teammate he was through it all. The guys appreciated him being around, going on some long trips with us, and was a heck of a teammate through it all. And he seems to be killing the rehab. But it wasn't just this year, Brady. You had a heck of a 4 years, big time contributor. I know you touched the ball a lot in your younger years, and then it became all defense out there. But we loved having you. Brady's a dib. This guy, a little bit of an unsung hero, and I think my brother would attest to this. Of just this guy ran and ran and ran and ran and ran and ran and ran, and he scout team O, scout team D, go get Brody Jones and run a go get here and run a go and do this and do this, and he ran like crazy. And the thing that was cool about all that And then you played every snap of one of those games in there in the middle. And the cool part about it all, though, was he knew his role, right? It wasn't maybe what he had hoped it would be. But I not once, he may have to his buddies, but I not once ever heard him complain. Not one time. Like another one, I got to run down there again, not one time. He may have felt it, you may have held it in, but not once complained. And he's got a play named after him that will always be. It will always be called Watson. It's all hitch, and it will be called Watson. As long as I'm calling plays somewhere, it'll be called Watson. And so you'll live that will live forever, Robert Watson. This guy battled back after a tough knee injury last year. I'm not sure he ever felt 100%, probably. And he loves this team. He loves you guys. Y'all know that. And he fought like crazy each week. He started as a true freshman. I remember him trotting out there as a true freshman 4 years ago, which is crazy to think it's been 4 years, really. And but battled back and was out there every snap almost this year, other than when we made you come out, which was awesome. And some big shoes to fill at that spot, literally, and the job you did. John Travis. He had 23 receptions for 276 yards and a touchdown, a big touchdown, a game winner. Turned out to be the game winner against John Carroll. He shifted to Y position for us, which is tight end, essentially 2 years ago. And he really embraced the blocking part of it that he knew was going to come with it. You go from being a wide out and you're running routes and you got to block on the perimeter, but they're not as big as they are in there inside the box. But he embraced that part of it and really became dang good at it on the outside zones and all the Stutter and Stanley stuff. And I think the thing that I was, besides he was a heck of a player for us and contributor, but the thing that was impressed to me was mature beyond his years when we kind of started talking to him about it was because he knew that was his way to get on the dang field, right? I mean, you're like, well, I can be stubborn and sit here wide out, or I can say, crap, I'll go play tight end and I'm going to embrace it and get strong and big as I can. And be out there every play, and he pretty much was. And it was a heck of a season. Again, that big touchdown against John Carroll. Cooper Kerr. I wish we got this guy a little sooner than we got him. I really do. It'd have been fun to see him grow over 4 years with us. But he really improved as the year went. And really played some significant snaps, right? There were times when you probably thought there weren't going to be many snaps, and then you really had some significant snaps down the stretch, both in the regular season and in the postseason. And we're glad you're part of us. Andrew Cordy. This guy battled through a shoulder all year long. Shoot, maybe 2 years. Been battling through a shoulder. Didn't always want to be completely honest with how bad it was, which you appreciate as a coach, but you also want to make sure they're all right. Had a big impact on both sides of the ball. I think it goes without saying, I don't know if you guys feel it like we felt it as coaches, but 58 was one of the baddest dudes on the field every game, either side of the ball. It's just what it was. You look out there and you're like, dang, I'm glad he's on our side. And he had 4 sacks on D. Obviously, a heck of a job at left tackle, Rocco Faiupu. I jumped to your last one. Tough, unselfish, whatever the team needed. And he may have been fussed at as much as anybody in the last 4 years. Maybe. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. He also got loved on a bunch too. We're moving you to linebacker. But go back to 4I. Go back to linebacker. Go back to 4I. Mid-season, mid-game, mid-whatever. We're just moving wherever. And he was just like, I'll do whatever. I'll do whatever the team needs. He's always been that way. His 3 brothers were that way. And it's been quite a run for the Edmistons. Toby Edmiston. You like being last? No. Speaking of getting fussed at, Olive had got one of the best butt chewings there's ever been given out there on that practice field. You think? It's up there. It's up there. And he was a freshman at the time, and he deserved it. He deserved it. But Ollie, from when he was from that time, we knew there was a little something about him. There was a little something about him that was just like, ooh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. And he was just steady. Kept getting better. And I thought he really gave us a spark. Really gave us a spark this year in some big-time moments in games when we really needed them. We needed a big hit. We needed a big, just the way you were flying around. You know, the energy and stuff you brought each and every week, and really turned into a heck of a leader. Ollie D's. All right, that's your seniors. It's a good bunch. It's small. It's a small bunch, and we lost a couple going into this year. But it was a heck of a group that really battled and led from the front. They really did lead from the front, and it was cool for me. And I think I'm gonna be able to hold it in because it's the first class I've coached all the way through. You know, these guys were freshmen when I showed up. I didn't know them. They looked different than they did then. Thank goodness they've gotten bigger and stronger. And it was cool for me to kind of see it through 4 years and kind of see the growth. And so there was a connection there with times when I would see it in their eyes when we were talking about, man, how about this, playing a home game or whatever it may be. We've been on that 4-year kind of path together. And these guys are leaving it good for you guys, leaving it good after 4 years and in a good spot. And I know we appreciate them and love them and we'll miss them. Thank you. Some of y'all about to get right back up. Okay, let's hold our applause till the end of these. Okay, these are your captains for this year, and I don't want to rush through it by any means, but I know I've kept y'all long enough. Captains are a big deal because their teammates voted for them. Their teammates voted for them. And, you know, there's been times where we sit there in that office and we start tallying them up and we go, man, we got 18 freshmen. Do these guys even know who these guys are? You know, I mean, they're voting for captains, and it's like, is that even... I mean, how do they even know who they're voting for? And so we say, all right, well, let's tally them all up. And then it's like, all right, let's move the freshmen out and see what it is. And it was the dang same. So I think it said a lot about, you know, from top to bottom. It wasn't just, well, there were 10 freshmen that picked some guy that paid them $10 to vote for them. It was actually a real vote. And you've seen years where we've had 4, you've seen years where we've had 8, and this year we had 6. And because they were all right there. They were all right there. It was the closest in the pack. And they did a heck of a job leading us. I'll rattle them off and then we can give them one round of applause. Rocco Fairhope, come on. Ollie Dees, Cooper Kurtz, Brady Dibb, Toby Edmiston, John Travis, hey, you see on that plaque, what does it say on there? I got to add to it. Right? 12-2 state semifinals. It's 12-2 state semifinals. That's the team that y'all are captains of. So that's awesome. I'm gonna do the lights. All right, the new Cheppy Award that we've done every year, you know, and you see it on our coaches' hats, and it's on the wall in the weight room, and I think most of you, I won't bore you with the whole thing of the meaning of it, and I think it probably means a little something different to each guy. And that's what kind of makes it special and unique. But for our team, this new Cheppy is, you know, the never-ending beginning. You're always beginning again. You're always beginning new. Fall down, get back up. Do really good, keep doing good. And it's an always begin again. And it's the next play mentality. It's the one play at a time. It's all those things that we know, and it applies in all of our lives, in everything, relationships, in our faith, in our schoolwork, everything. New Cheppy, you're always beginning again. This guy was the epitome of that. It was a quick one. It was a quick one in the office when he started going around. It was like boom, 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 boom. All right, I guess that's done. And there was no doubt. And I know to a man in that coach's office, there's a lot of guys that are that exemplify this. But this one was the at the top of the list, and I guess it runs in the family. Rocco Fairhope. All right, I'm gonna bring us home real quick. Really this time, seriously. Now, New Cheppy, for real, right? New Cheppy, for real. We started in the weight room already. March will be here before you know it. We'll be sending you the summer schedule, and we'll be rolling again. And that's just kind of the way it goes. But we begin again. And it's you 8 seniors, y'all did a heck of a job. And now look behind this table, it's you guys, right, with some rising ninth graders. And I think we've gotten to the point, which is a great thing, that there shouldn't have many rising ninth graders that have to contribute on Friday night. And that is a good thing. That is what you want it to grow to be. And so those ninth graders can grow and develop. And we got obviously a big, huge senior class. So the process begins again. You know, I've heard it already. Hey, well, next year we're going to win it all. And dang sure, that's what we're going to try to do. But it just doesn't happen that way, right? Well, you got this far, so that means next year you're going to do it again. And I'm telling you, that's the first time. I mean, obviously I only played 4 years in high school. Walt's been coaching for, don't let me short you, Walt, 30 what? 36. Okay? They ain't been many Thanksgiving Walt's practice football. Small number, 3. He's been coaching for 36 years. So it's not normal to just go to the semifinals. Now, we can get it. I hope we build it to where it is normal. And it's just kind of expected. And when we don't, dadgummit, we didn't make it this year. But it just doesn't happen. So you got to restart the whole process. And I just want to remind of that process. It is not all about the scoreboard. The process is about more than that. It's about them, again, and we're trying to find ways to get better at this. Right? Because we do care about the scoreboard, but it's them being better men for having played football at St. Michael. That is above all of them. And you can do both. You can win and get that accomplished. And that's what we're trying to do. But winning, make no mistake, winning is contagious. Winning is contagious. It's a culture of contagiousness, winning, of wanting to do well. You don't just win by accident. You have to stick and work hard to win. You have to sacrifice to win. You have to be disciplined to win. You have to have teamwork to win. You have to be unselfish to win. All of those things are traits that are going to help y'all in the next level, right? And then we started every day for the most part with Father Burke, right? And we're going to try to keep enhancing that. So I don't want y'all to feel like, oh, Father Burke again, right? But we appreciate him and all he's given to us in those days when we start our work day. But it starts new, right? And it's all about the process, one day at a time. And it's all about it, right? Faith, classroom, and the field. Faith, classroom, and the field, being better men for having been in the program. That's the ultimate goal. And let's win while we do that. Let's win it all of them. Let's win while we do that. Win all of them. You guys left a good mark in 4 years. 6, 5, 6, and 12. That's 29. 29 in 4 years. We've won 29 in 4 years. Pretty dang good. It's pretty dang good. Okay, so we went along the way. This year we won 12 and lost 2. And I know some of y'all aren't on the 7-on-7 deal, but we won 30 7-on-7 games and lost 1. So in the calendar year of 2024, we lost 3 football games, or 3 games, and they just all happened to be to Jackson. Every single one of them. We didn't lose to anybody else. All in the whole calendar year, okay? So we get to start again. And it ain't all about Jackson, it's about us. We're not worried about, are we going to make it? We're just going to try to get better every day. Try to get better every day. I tell these guys all the time, I know I'm going too long, I'm getting a little excited, but I tell them, and we talk about it, and it's hitting me more and more the older I get. Don't miss this. You know what I'm saying? Don't miss this. Because you're going to grow up. You're going to grow up. Right? We grow up. I mean, it goes. Don't miss this. Don't miss getting to go to high school banquet. Don't miss getting to go lift weights tomorrow. Don't miss, changing the classes in the hallways. Don't miss it. Be there. Be there. Get to do it. Embrace it with guys you love and do all of it because it goes fast. It goes fast. And I know moms and dads, we all can tell you all the time. And you go, we know. But I'm just telling you again, it goes fast. It goes fast. All right. Thank all y'all for coming. You guys, we're going to help with the cleanup. Okay. let's close, how we always close practice with a prayer, and then we'll break it down one last time, and then we'll go. I miss anything? We good? Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Saint Michael, Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all the evil spirits, prowl about the world, seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. Saint Sebastian. Together on three. 1, 2, 3. Together.